All right, on the bench, we got three Cobra 148 GTLs, all from different times, all from different countries of manufacture. So this, all three of these radios belong to the same owner. He actually has a Lafayette here as well, and I had repaired another Lafayette for him. You guys will remember that from a few videos ago. But figured I'd start off with these Cobra 148 GTLs. I've never had one of each ever at the same time. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to show a video to show the differences between each one, and yeah, and kind of maybe just show the similarities. And then I think once I'm done doing, recapping alignment on all of them, we'll do kind of like a shootout and see if one performs better than the other, or, if they're going to be the same or whatever. We'll, that'll be a fun video to do. But let's look at the differences. So we have all the way on the left here, this is a Chinese made front mic. This is a Filipino made, and we have a Taiwanese made. And of all of these, the Taiwanese seems to be the more desirable of all of them. So anyway, they all have 1969 finals, but this one is driven, the Taiwanese is driven with an NEC, what is that? Let's see if I can get that cap out of the way there. Try to get that's an NEC 1306. And the driver there is a 2166. And the same there. But they all have the same final. Very desirable 2166 Mitsubishi. I'm sorry, 1969 Mitsubishi finals are very desirable. But so you can see on the Filipino, you have the Uniden black VCO. Some people prefer the black over the brown. I really have no preference. I don't see a difference. I actually don't know why people prefer the black over the brown, but whatever. You read it on the internet. The black is a better VCO, I guess. I don't really see a difference, but same crystal filter packs on all of them. Oh yeah, but to go back to the VCO on the Chinese, the later model. So the Chinese is going to be the this is going to be the later model 148 GTL. We actually went with a self-contained board with surface mount components on it, rather than just our standard VCO. And you'll see that IC5 is no longer there. So IC5 is that and that one. So essentially the only difference between a Taiwanese 148 and a Filipino 148, they're probably going to be the closest out of the three. So with Taiwanese, you're going to see that they still used quarter-watt components, so capacitors, resistors, whatnot. They're all rated at quarter-watt. So in order to cut costs down, not only did Cobra ship their manufacturing over to the Philippines, but they went with the 1/8 watt rated components. So the resistors are 1/8 watt, and the diodes are 1/8 watt. Yeah, so again, just to keep costs down. Does it make it a bad radio? No, I wouldn't say it does make it a bad radio. It's just what it's rated for. The channel selector are the same. They changed it over on the Chinese one to surface mount. And when you look at the Chinese 148, the trimmers also got downgraded to these, cheaper style trimmers, and of course 1/8 watt components as well. So what you see is you see this throughout not just the electronics industry, but even like the food industry. In order to keep the customer satisfied, you're going to notice that they're not going to really change, or the prices really aren't going to really change that much. What you're going to find is things are made cheaper or you get less, right? So like, you buy a bag of potato chips now. It's something I've noticed. You go food shop and you get a bag of chips, and it's mostly air, even though the chips cost the same as they used to cost. But there's definitely less inside, So that's a trick that every manufacturer uses, right? So you try to, in order to keep the prices the same, you just get less, or you get just poor quality or cheaper components, right? So you see that everywhere. Every manufacturer does it in any type of, whether it's electronics or food or what have you. It's just to keep costs down, right? But anyway, so that's inside. That's basically the differences between the three. This one here is a little bit more. When you look at the regulator in the back for the display, these don't. This doesn't have it. And you'll notice that some of the the board itself is pretty much the same. There are some differences, like when you look at the VCO here, the adjustments are just a little bit different, from the Chinese one. So like I said before, the Filipino and the Taiwanese, they're pretty much going to be the same radio. Just the component ratings are different. There's going to be slight variations, in the spacing between the controls and the switches. But other than that, it's pretty much the same radio. So when you look at the front, the way it's set up is the same. So you're going to have your noise blanker ANL switch is there, CBPA, your tone high-low, and your bright-dim. And when you look at here, it's going to be the same. Same, high-low, bright-dim. So now when you go over to the Chinese one, you're going to see the noise blanker ANL, CBPA, and then you have your SRF, your SWR calibration, and your SWR. You're going to notice that your mode switch is up here. And then for your tone, you're going to notice that you have a 3-position switch. So you're going to have a high, a normal, and a low, rather than just a high and a low. So when you look, so the mode switch is here. When you look at the Filipino one and the Taiwanese one, it's on the one of these rotary switches over here. All right. Obviously, the front mic on the Chinese. These are side mics. All right. Yeah. So, and then you're gonna notice the bright, normal, and dim switch on the Chinese one is on one of these rotary switches. And then, on the Filipino and the Taiwanese, it's just a regular switch with just 2 settings. So, yeah, those are some of the differences. performance-wise, you're going to get about the same, more or less, performance out of each radio. There's really not going to be that much of a difference. One thing I've noticed with my own radios, one thing that the Chinese model has, in my opinion, better is the front face lasts longer, and the chrome tends to not peel as much on the Chinese models. The Filipino made units seem to be the worst. This one's actually not in bad shape, but I think the this front has been changed already to a decal, because it looks pretty damn new. So, and you can kind of tell by the way it's just not it's not real aluminum. So this is an overlay. It's a good overlay, you know. I like the way that looks, so you can't almost tell, you know, unless you really know or really look. But yeah, the Filipino ones tend to peel easier. The front face tends to fade easier. The silk screening fades easier. The Taiwanese aren't much better in my experience, but they definitely peel. The fronts definitely fade. The silk screening definitely peels off quicker. So that's something definitely that the Chinese made 148 GTLs have above the other two models. But that's basically it. Between them, I like having the removable connectors on the speakers. It seems like everybody just stopped doing that, and I don't know why. But I mean, not that it takes long to desolder a couple of speaker terminals, but it's just nice having the having that ability to just remove them, you know, with the spade connectors. But yeah, that's about it. I don't want to make this video too much longer and getting into depth. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, there's some subtle differences, you know, like the size of this crystal. This one I noticed somebody had repurposed the switch, which I still have to investigate what they did here. But they left this one here. This will have a focus. They left this one here bare, which is a no-no. I don't understand. These two got heat shrink tubing around it, and then this one was just left like that. But yeah, I still have to investigate what that is. But all three of these are getting a full service. But yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I never had all three of them all at once on my workbench, so I figured I'd just show the differences between these three. Alright guys, thanks for watching. So one thing to note that I didn't mention is that there is a Hong Kong built Cobra 148 GTL. Me personally, I've never seen one. I've never come across one, so I can't comment on what's inside. But I just figured I'd just let you guys know that there is a Hong Kong made Cobra 148 GTL, and I think they were around probably the same time that the Taiwanese ones were made, so probably around the early to mid 80s, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, there is a Hong Kong made Cobra 148 GTL.